Hello, everyone. Pontificator here. Hey, I went down to Huron Township tonight to their trustee meeting, or board meeting rather, and I let them know that I thought that their current enforcement levels and past on the frost law enforcement it's excessive. Targets truck drivers. Look, I know you guys work 70, 80, sometimes 90 hours a week. It may not be all driving, but you work a lot. And you're really only getting, if you really work for a good company like mine, $2,000 a week for a load like that, or for a week like that. By the time you get done with taxes and everything else, maybe you're $1,500, maybe. But then you have to send money home to your family. You get a ticket that's $5,000. We'll round it off. You get a $5,200 ticket. That's $100 a week that comes out of the mouths of your family. That's money that you could use to pay for your kids' sports, or so that your wife can get up at 6 o'clock in the morning like we did for so many years to drive our kids to a Saturday morning sport. What Huron is doing with their enforcement and writing these excessively massive tickets that individual drivers have to pay. Yeah, they'll say, well, we write them to the company. That's only because you complain that so many people blew you off so long that, and it wasn't Huron, but the state finally passed a law allowing for them to write the citations to the company. But here we go. I understand what drivers and human beings have to go through. I thought that the board would do the same thing. What I heard when I went in there tonight, now mind you, I went in there on the offensive. I used some language. I referred to the police officers as minions, but I was thinking about the movie Minions, because they're running around like crazy, rounding up trucks to bring to the one guy that's sitting there with a set of scales. If you can pay a police officer to sit in one spot, excuse me, I think I first saw him there this morning about 10. He was still sitting in that same spot when I went to that meeting at 6:30 tonight. He sits there. They bring the trucks. He pulls across the street, weighs the truck, writes the big old citation, goes back to park, sits there, weigh, come back and park. So he's in effect running a mobile single spot scale house. That's offensive. The way that they're doing this to the trucking community is offensive. So one of the people in the township said, my husband drives trucks, been driving X amount of years, and he looked at it and said, they're breaking the law. Well, it's very possible that the police department in Huron is breaking the law as well, because I don't think they're enforcing all of the laws required before they can put themselves in a position that they can write these citations. There's 3 different laws, at least at minimum, for frost law enforcement. There's one law that says that if you're going to weigh a truck, you have to do A, B, C, D, and E. That one's tied to the 4th Amendment of the Constitution. Okay, you have to establish certain levels. There's another law that says that it sets the weights and the limits and everything else for the weight limit, which would set the fines for the violations. There's another law, I think it's 726. 726 describes what's going on with a whole bunch of stuff, but paragraph 8 of that one says the seasonal weight restriction. And then there's another one, 722, 724, and 726, and then there's a few others. One of them deals with the fact that a local authority can enforce that law, but they have to post the signage. Well, everybody seems to think now, because of Ron Arnett, long story, that doesn't relate to the frost law. Well, it's awful funny that you can put all of these other laws together, but you won't pull that one in. So maybe the police department's breaking the law too. I don't know. I'm not an attorney, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Pontificator guys, carriersunited.com. Join us. We want to fix everything that's ailing the trucking industry. And I'm going to file a FOIA request and get all of these citations. I'll probably have to get them from the court, because Huron Township no longer writes the total on the ticket. So I'll get the totals from the court. Last time I tried to do that, they played the whole, we don't store that over here, and we don't store this over there, and we don't have that information available here, and we don't have that information available there. If they pull that crap on me, I will call in the state attorney general and see if we can force the court to produce the numbers that they are taking in on these citations from drivers. I'm over this shit. It's been over 10 years of dealing with this. CarriersUnited.com, guys. Let's all stick together. You guys get signed up here because we want to take over the country for the trucking industry. We want to get rid of everyone that's beating on trucking. The trucking industry is not your ATM. That's going to be our message to the country. All right? Thank you, guys. I apologize for the F-bomb. My wife is giving me a dirty look right now. But that's the way I feel about it. So you guys have a good night. Be safe, be careful, and thank you.